Hello, YouTube fam. It's been a while since I've been on this channel. I don't really post on this channel, obviously, anymore. But I have acquired a new hobby. And I'm sorry if I'm like this the whole time, because I'm outside right now in one of my sheds and the sun is like directly shining in on me right now. So I'm actually going to come back here and sit. But I have acquired a new hobby. I actually always kind of had this hobby, but never really did anything with it. But I have started collecting old or like gross furniture, and I'm going to try and flip it. I'm going to try to flip it and resell it. If I don't resell it, like, it's not the end of the world, but I'm going to try and flip it anyway. And I've done a few pieces already, but I already knew that I wanted to try and document it on video because I think it's cool and I really love watching other people's videos of it. So here we are today. This is going to be the first one of this magnificent coffee table that I'm sitting on. I'm sorry about the lighting cutting off right here. It is what it is. But this coffee table, I'll show you some close-ups of it. It's in pretty rough shape. It was free on Marketplace, and so I went and picked it up for free. And it is in actually worse shape than I thought it was when I was picking it up. But I think I might be able to do something with it and at least save what I can of it. It will probably all get painted, but you can see it's at a very comfortable height. And so I'm going to be making this into a bench. If the top portion that I'm sitting on right now wasn't in such bad shape, I would probably try to save it into a table, but I don't think that this top is salvageable, and I'll show you why momentarily. But I'm gonna try and make it into a bench. I've seen these tables made into benches, and so I'm gonna insert some inspiration pics of what I'm going for, and we'll see how it turns out, but it's pretty bad. I think it was left outside, and like whatever bubbling it did had got way worse, and so it's pretty ugly, and I don't think there's any real way to fix it and make it look decent. So my plan right now is I'm gonna buy a big cushion, obviously, to go on here, but I'm gonna try and use this existing top rather than trying to cut a new board, because I think if I'm covering it with a cushion anyway, then I think I can still use this top. So I've already detached it. Actually, here's the rest of the coffee table. You can see this is my reflection, of course, so let's flip you around. Okay, so here is the rest of the coffee table for what you can see of it. You can see that the bubbling is really bad. So there's all of this bubbling here, peeling and everything, and then this literal entire side is just one massive bubble. So yeah, it's pretty terrible. I don't think it's probably salvageable. And yeah, there's some bubbling, like a little bit on the bottom portions, like you can see over there. There's a little bit that I think I'll be able to like sand out and make look somewhat decent. At least enough to paint over. But I really like the cute little flowers and stuff on it, so we're gonna try and save what we can. All right, like I said, I've already taken the top off and detached it. And so I'm going to just start sanding this and see what comes of it. All right, guys, I started by just literally sanding the crap out of this thing. I really didn't even need to sand the top since I decided to cover it later, but I sanded every single square inch of this thing. I didn't sand it down like through the, I don't even know what you want to call it, the wood pattern on it. But I sanded it And then on all of the little bubbling down below, I sanded them as smooth as I possibly could, but you're gonna see that I had to take my knife to some of it just because it was so high, and like I would have just been sanding for hours. So I went ahead and just cut whatever I could to get it as level as possible, and sanded everything else as smooth as I could get it. After I did that, I went with this is like the Minwax polyacrylic sealer, and I just put like a hefty coat all over it, especially on those areas that the bubbling had brought the particle board through. And it's basically gonna harden over all of that and harden into almost like a plastic and seal all of that so moisture can't continue to get into the particle board, at least hopefully. Now the struggle with this is that it's gonna be a different texture than the rest of the wood. You'll see later that I actually go in. I bought some peel and stick wallpaper off of Amazon. I think I spent like $5 or $6 on it. I'll link it down below if you want to look at it. But I just bought some peel and stick wallpaper, and I'm going to be using that on the bottom instead of painting it. I did paint it a little bit, but it just, there was so many spots where the texture was different. I decided to just use this and go right over top of it, and it actually looked pretty decent. I was pretty happy with how it came out. It didn't look that bad. So I went over it with the wallpaper, and there was a few areas that I had to like Mod Podge it down, but overall it looked pretty good. So I was happy with that. Once I got everything painted, I decided to paint it like this white, I think it was called ivory bisque color. Once everything was painted and I had sealed it with the polyacrylic, I took the top in and I bought a roll of, I think it's just called like craft cushion or something. You can get it at Walmart in like the craft section. And then I bought 2 yards of fabric, and this fabric is actually super soft. It's super stretchy. It's not like crafting fabric by any means, but it was like 2 yards for $4 at Walmart. So I just bought the 2 yards and I doubled it up, and I'm just wrapping it around the top of the table, and I'm using just a staple gun to staple it down to create the cushion on the top. So after I did that, I put it all back together, and I bought some new knobs for it because the knobs were like just kind of ugly and old and like yellowed. So I bought the new knobs for it and put those on, and that's pretty much it. All right, guys, this is the finished product. I need to cut these fabric pieces still, but this is pretty much the finished product, and I am really happy to be done with this piece. I actually need to touch up right here too that I'm looking at, but you know what? I don't even care because I'm just happy to be done with this. I spent so much money doing this. Like, I think I spent at least $30 just on the cushion and the fabric for the top here. I spent like $6 or $7 for the roll of wallpaper. I spent multiple dollars on the cans of paint. I think I probably used like 5 or 6 cans of paint. Spent a few bucks on the knobs. I'm done spending money on it. I'm sure I won't even be able to sell this for probably more than $30. So it's cute and functional now. It at least has a purpose, and you could still even use it as a coffee table if you wanted to put one of those like trays on here. But I'm happy to be done with it. Hopefully somebody buys it. If not, I will probably donate it. But before, it just wasn't usable at all. It was so ugly. It was, I mean, nothing was going to happen to it other than it being thrown away or burned. So at least I kept it out of the landfill. I'm sure somebody can use it for something. But when I take it back outside, I'm just going to touch up this bottom, what do you call this, panel, because the paint's a little spotty. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to call it done for. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this transformation. Go ahead and check out the description box down below where you can find me on social media and buy me a coffee to support the channels and my podcast. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.